So I'm here today at the Southern Tire Mart at the Pilot in Nyota, Tennessee, exit 56. They're really helpful here. If you're ever on the road and you need help, these guys are great. They jump right on it. They're not usually overly busy, so you get taken in pretty quickly. And they always do a good job. I always come here. I'm usually here for lights, but today I'm here for getting some Freon added to my system. Come inside and I'll show you how that is done. Hey everyone, so alright, today on Being Eli, I am going to do a video on the unexpected expenses of trucking. I was asked to do this several weeks ago by a subscriber and have been wanting to put it together, but I either feel like I have no ideas for a video or too many ideas and then it takes me a while to get things together. So as you saw in the intro, I was getting my Freon recharged, and if I had been an owner-operator, that would be an unexpected expense. This truck had really low air output. It just wasn't, wasn't cold. Luckily, I haven't needed it a lot, but when you need it, you want it. And so I ran it through there to have it charged, and it does turn out that the compressor will also need to be changed. It locks up. So there's that. But even today, just doing charging the system and making sure there was not a leak, the bill was $180. So if you don't know to expect things like that to come up, then you get hit with an unexpected expense. You're going to spend some money on food and, little personal supplies. Some of it's going to boil down to what kind of driver are you. If you are a local driver, other than, buying your lunch or food for the day, no, you're not going to really have any expenses that you wouldn't normally have on a daily basis. If you're an over-the-road driver, okay, things change a little bit. You're going to have to be able to buy anything you need, toiletries, food, supplies, all these kind of things. So again, if you expect the unexpected, then it's never unexpected. That'd be my motto for the day. Now, the people that really get hit with your unexpected expenses are your owner-operators. And in my other video where I'd answered questions and talked about would I ever be an owner-operator, and I was like, no. That is one reason, and I think I addressed it in that video. As an owner-operator, shop work a lot is really going to be the big one. For me as a company driver, if I go out and buy antifreeze or oil or power steering fluid or whatever it is I'm needing for the truck at that time, the company reimburses me. So I guess I could look at it as an expense because I have to front the money, so to speak, but the company pays me back. Another unexpected expense, and this is all in how prepared you are as a driver. I always keep an extra shirt on the truck with me, usually an extra pair of shorts, even if it's just a pair of pajama shorts, just something that I could have to throw on if need be. I usually keep, like in the wintertime, I do wear boots because it's cold, but I'll keep some flip-flops in my truck. So the reason being for that is there's going to be times where you have to do something in the rain. You have to work on your truck or get out in the, under the trailer, working on something out there in the rain or in the mud. And you're going to get kind of dirty. And a want to sit here, if you like a clean truck particularly, you're not going to want to get in and just slop up your truck with cold and mud. So having an extra pair of clothing helps. If you don't carry that on your truck, you might at some point end up having to stop at a truck stop and grab a sweater, a shirt, a jacket, hats, gloves. You know, they sell all these things. So you can, you know, kind of stock up if you needed to. Or you can just bring extra clothing with you. Again, as a local driver, it might not be as important. But even there, I would probably at least keep an extra shirt. There's been many times where I ended up having to work on my truck out in the rain, and there's no cover. If you break down in the middle of the road like I did, I had to open the hood in the middle of an intersection. Fun times, guys, fun times. And not only add a little coolant, I really wasn't that low, but my sensor is super, super touchy. And I actually unplugged the sensor so that I could get the truck running and get going. But it was raining and I got wet. So, not a fun way to start your day. Okay? So, those would be the two biggest things, is truck expense. Another expense that you might consider, and this could even be for your personal vehicle, would be a dash cam. I currently do not have one yet, but I want one badly, because there are some really horrendous drivers out there. Come on with it, stupid son of a bitch. Oh, Jesus, dumbass. Come on, asshole. And not only that they're just bad drivers, period, but there's also drivers that will purposely mess with you, whether for insurance purposes or just because they want to take on a big truck and feel like they got a big set of, you know. So a dash cam can be a good expense to incur, not necessarily unexpected. And other than that, you guys, I mean, it's just common sense kind of stuff, I think. There's going to be some days where if I don't pack my food, I'm going to have to buy more food. So I do pack my meals. I will be doing another video at some point on how I eat as a driver to try to keep some sense of a body and stay healthy. So if you have a fridge, that's super beneficial. If you have a microwave in your truck, you're golden. I think your biggest area of expense when it comes to buying supplies for the truck are going to be those things that I usually do my pre-trip not at the beginning of the day, but when I'm getting fuel. Because I'm already at the fuel island, I can open up the hood, I'm undercover. So again, going back to the rain. But also, if I need something, I'm there at a truck stop. I can go in and get some oil or get some antifreeze or, again, whatever it is I'm needing for the truck at that time. So it just makes it a whole lot easier since I'm in the same truck all the time. I'm not getting into a new truck every day. I know this truck pretty well. I know that it, you know, I know what its issues are. I'm just going to do my pre-trip at the fuel island. I still log it at the beginning of the day like a good little truck driver. But I actually do it middle of the day when I'm getting fuel. So that might be something where you could have an unexpected expense when something occurs on the road, or when you're checking everything out at the fuel island, and then you realize you need something and you got to run it again. Other unexpected expenses can be things like gifts for your kids back home, or if people like to know that you travel and you want to get them something from various states that you've been in, you might pick up a gift. You might also pick up something for the truck like a CB or headphones. You know, there's all sorts of things that you might get into when you get to a truck stop. you might run out of food one day. I have done that. Or I forgot to refill my food pot for Bean. And, realized that as I got out on the road, so I just buy a little thing of cheap, nasty dog food. It's not her normal stuff, but at least it'll give her something to eat. And then when I have that bag, I just mix it in with the good stuff, so she's not eating just junk processed food. The only other time that I can really think of having unexpected expenses would be if you have a breakdown and get towed and have to stay for an extended time, overnight or a couple days. Since I tend to be gone overnight and then I come back, I don't plan on being gone for 2 nights, 3 nights, whatever. But yet again, I carry some extra clothes and I have a shower bag with me, so that if I do have to take a shower at a truck stop because something's wrong with the load and I have to wait, or gone overnight, maybe I can stay in the truck. It's not a tow issue, but the truck's not rolling for whatever reason. I can get a shower. If I'm at a hotel, I'm going to have to consider maybe getting an Uber to go somewhere if I need to, or have a delivery fee to have some food brought to me. So those are some things to consider. That might truly be an unexpected expense, but again, it goes back into your preparation as a driver to do your job. If you are always prepared, then you're rarely unexpected with anything. That's the way I would put that. And the last thing that I would say is an unexpected expense is not monetary. If you're new to driving or thinking about being a driver, the biggest unexpected expense is going to be your time. Your time away from your family. Your time away from doing the things that you would like to be doing. Certainly that applies to many jobs. We all go to work so that we can afford the good times, but we work so much we don't always get to enjoy the good times. But as a truck driver, again, if you're over the road at all, you are going to be giving up being there at home for some special moments. There will be a time that something will happen that you wish that you would have been there for. You give up time with your spouse or with your children. Sometimes that's a wonderful thing. Sometimes it's really nice because you have your alone time. I'm not going to say that it's a negative to this industry. It's just something to consider. I think especially women get into this thinking it's a job and a career, and it is. It's a great one. If you've got common sense, which a lot of the new drivers do not. If you have a sense of adventure, if you are independent, then this is a great career for you. But there will still be times where you'll be wishing that you were at home. I've known many situations where a driver was not at home when their baby was born. This is for the guys, not the girls. Or in the worst case, when I was a dispatcher at US Express and a customer service rep for a while too. And on more than one occasion, the driver would be out on the road and lose a loved one. And they were really upset because they weren't home for it. Now, again, yeah, you could be a secretary somewhere at an office and still not be home when somebody gets injured or sick or dies, but at least you're there in the area. If you are a truck driver, you might be 1,000 or more miles away, and so you get the news, and not only are you not there in that immediate area to be able to handle the situation. But now you're driving, trying to get back, if you can get back. That's to say, if you have a load that can get you back, and you're having to drive with that knowledge in mind. And it can really mess with you. So those would be the biggest things to consider if you're getting into this industry. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been enjoyable. And we'll be seeing you next week. On that note, I'm going to say stay focused.